I think he's taking steroids. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. 100%. I'm willing to bet that. All the money that I have, I'd bet.
I've always had my suspicions. And
Fans everywhere are asking the same question. Is Jake really on steroids? Or is this just another rumor to hype up the fight? The matchup between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis was already stirring controversy long before any drug test drama. It's a 195-pound catchweight fight. Jake, a 6 feet 1 inch social media star who's made waves in boxing, going up against Gervonta, a 5 feet 5 inches powerhouse who dominates at 135 pounds. Critics have called it a mismatch, even a circus act, questioning why a YouTuber is facing one of boxing's hardest hitters. But now, with the steroid story in the mix, things just got even more explosive.
Started. Bothered me at first, but and for a very short time, obviously it's not too much you could do about it if a guy doesn't want to fight you. But my thing is, just handle the business right. That's all. Just handle the business right. Don't think you're gonna do bad business with me and think it's just gonna be okay. No, we're gonna call you out every single time. Don't duck a fight with me and fight a YouTuber that's 200 pounds and think it's okay. It's not okay. I don't care what, unless you took the proper, steps to do so. You could have told me that. You could have told me, all right, look, we're gonna take this Jake Paul fight, or your team could have reached out and be like, all right, look, we're gonna take this Jake Paul fight, and we'll circle back, or we won't. We just don't want to fight. It's cool, all right, but we're contracted to fight for a certain amount of purse and whatever the case may be. It's not. It don't work like that. You can't breach a contract.
Every time Jake fights, the same whispers return. Some say it's just jealousy, that a YouTuber wasn't supposed to get this far in boxing, so critics keep trying to tear him down. Others believe there's more to it, pointing to his rapid transformation and explosive performances as proof that something doesn't add up. Either way, this new report has reignited every old rumor, and now the spotlight on Jake is brighter and harsher than ever.
Are you on performance-enhancing drugs?
If taking Viagra counts, then yes.
Jake laughed it off, brushing it aside like it was just another attempt to discredit him, and he insisted he'd never touched anything illegal. But once that seed of doubt was planted, it never really went away. Fans and critics kept debating whether Jake's power and physique would result of hard work or something more. Then in 2023, MMA fighter Dylan Dennis reignited the fire by posting side-by-side photos of Jake, his brother Logan Paul, and KSI with the caption, "Don't do roids, kids." It was meant to be a jab, but it stirred up the controversy all over again, fueling even more suspicion that maybe, just maybe, there was some truth to the rumors.
Andrew Tate says I do steroids.
I think he's on a bunch of steroids.
Yeah. So those aren't allowed in the sports that I do, boxing or WWE. So go yourself.
Can I?
At one point, Jake Paul even fired back at his critics directly when influencer Andrew Tate claimed, "I do steroids," and accused Jake of being on them too. Jake didn't hold back. He clapped back hard, saying, "Yeah, those aren't allowed in the sports I do, boxing or WWE. So, go screw yourself." It was classic Jake, confident, confrontational, and ready to flip the script on anyone calling him out.
Speaking of bumps,
went right over it.
those little bumps you had on your face kind of alarmed me. You wouldn't be having to take PEDs, are you?
Listen, if you want to build in excuses right now,
No, I'm just asking.
go ahead.
Because I was just wondering, I
Go
looked at
ahead.
your face, it looked kind of serious. You had some rage and you acting all unorthodox, those are signs of the PEDs.
I'm enraged. I'm not enraged at all.
Are you taking PEDs?
No, sir.
Not at all. Okay.
No, sir.
That's what I feel like. I don't care. You can be on horse tranquilizer steroids. You can get a whole new body from Walmart. You still getting slept.
Even UFC veteran Mike Perry once joked, "I don't know how you put on 25 pounds like that without a cheat code." That one line summed up what a lot of people were thinking. That Jake's transformation might be a little too perfect. But here's where things get interesting. Jake actually saw this coming. Just a few weeks ago, in a TMZ sports interview, he confidently said, "They can't use the steroid excuse because we have full random drug testing." They can literally knock on my door right now. He didn't just deny it, he doubled down, saying he'd sue anyone spreading false stories about him. He even claimed he was flattered people thought he looked too good.
What do you think about the rumors of Tank and Jake fight?
Man, Tank disrespectful to the sport if he choose that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. He called cap on it. So if he won't call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove it. I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left. So he better be on his A game.
We went and took a circus show fight, and you know, he said he was going to retire. I believe him.
Why do you say he's a circus show fight?
It's just for and giggles. Jake Paul is 200 pounds, and he's whatever he is. So.
Spoke to Roberto Diaz over in Florida, and I know he's part of your team. He was a little bit upset when all that news came out. He called it a duck. Would you call it a duck?
For sure. You can call it a spade, for sure. You know, if we're contracted to fight and you go and take another fight, you breach that contract, and you go take another fight, that's a clear duck. I mean, obviously. So.
The timing of all this couldn't be more suspicious. Jake Paul is scheduled to face Gervonta Tank Davis on November 15th in Miami, a fight that already has fans and analysts calling it risky, even dangerous. The size gap between the two is massive. Jake stands at 6 feet 1 inch and naturally weighs around 195 pounds, while Tank is just 5 feet 5 inches and usually fights at 135. That's a 60-pound difference between a naturally heavy puncher and one of the most explosive smaller fighters in the game.
Always love to make rumors up about me, but I do drug testing, the commission drug testing right before the fight, all these types of things.
They should focus on Canelo and his team, not on Jake Paul.
Yeah,
Jake
he's
Paul
pop.
Has been clean
It's so crazy. It's so crazy that people that actually pop for this shit, they don't call him out. And then I'm over here looking like a doughboy. I got love handles, dog. That's after not eating for 3 weeks, basically. So if I was on that shit, it wasn't working.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Big names in the boxing world didn't hold back their opinions either. Fighters like Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia were quick to slam the matchup all over social media. Haney called out directly, saying, "This isn't boxing anymore. It's WWE with gloves."
Yeah, it is.
That comment hit hard, and it echoed what a lot of purists were already thinking.
Who's unbeaten in 31 professional contests, takes on the self-proclaimed problem child, Jake Paul, one of the most influential and marketable global personalities. Paul and Davis square off in Miami after doubts around the fight being sanctioned in Georgia triggered a change in venue. Neither fighter can weigh more than 195 pounds. The weight is perhaps the most surprising factor. Paul has boxed most of his career around 200 pounds, the cruiserweight limit, but did tip the scales at 227 pounds when he faced off against Iron Mike Tyson last year. Davis, much smaller in stature, competes at the 135 pound mark and has also won world honours at super featherweight.
And despite some discussions about possibly dropping down to 10 ounces, the pair seem set to wear 12-ounce gloves.
And in terms of distance, despite the exhibition tag, the fight will play out over 10 3-minute rounds with 3 scoring judges at ringside, but the result will not be officially recorded on their professional records.
Because if Jake really did use performance enhancers against someone like Gervonta Tank Davis, a much smaller fighter, that's not just unfair, it's dangerous. Tank is giving up serious size and weight already. So adding steroids into the mix would turn the fight from entertainment into something reckless. And honestly, Tank never wanted or needed this fight to prove anything. For him, it was always about pride and proving a point. But now, with these accusations hanging over Jake's head, Tank might be the one walking into a fight that shouldn't even happen.
Jake Paul versus Tank, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, everyone's talking about it. It's a whole thing. A lot of people liked it, didn't like it.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you first saw that it was a thing?
It pissed me the fuck off, bro.
Yeah, why?
It's just disappointing on mainly Jake's end. You know, we're not falling for the Disney Channel bit no more. We're not falling for you're not a fighter no more. We're not falling for that. You know, you're ranked as a cruiserweight and you're out here trying to fight a lightweight. And then on top of it, you were just talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. That doesn't make no sense. And, you know, I just felt like it was a disgrace to boxing and kind of it was not a good move by Jake Paul. You know, I understand people saying, you know, Gervonta got to go get his money, you know, blah, blah, blah. But, like, we're not talking about that shit. We're talking about the sport, bro. We're not talking about, oh, you got to get that money, bro. Yeah, but everybody's open to criticism. That's the whole point of this media shit.
Right.
That's why they talk about basketball players. They don't talk about, well, LeBron's making too much. Like, nobody cares, bro. If LeBron's missing the shot, he's missing the fucking shot. So at the end of the day, bro, I just thought it was a disgrace to the sport. Because on one end, you know, you got the casuals, right? The casuals don't see the weight difference. They see Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. Yeah. And if Gervonta Davis doesn't fuck up Jake Paul, they're going to think Jake Paul is some pound-for-pound champion type of fighter.
So far, the Florida State Boxing Commission hasn't released any official statement. But sources close to both camps say there are testing discrepancies being reviewed. That's just a fancy way of saying everyone's scrambling to figure out what went wrong. Behind the scenes, it's chaos. Lawyers getting involved, teams double-checking test results, and promoters desperately trying to save what could be one of the biggest fights of the year. In short, everyone's panicking and the clock is ticking.
I think Tank never gave us the fights that we really wanted. Never really gave us those challenges. He never really challenged himself. He didn't give Rhodes that rematch, which he should have. You know, Mayweather did it when he had a hard time with Maidana and Castillo. Right away, he did the rematches to prove everybody wrong, and look at what he did. He beat him clearly. So Tank should have done the same. He didn't. That I could criticize. But then at the end also, if you're making 30 to 50 million, I don't even know what he's making to fight, to have an exhibition against just Jake Paul, I would have asked, I would do the same.
Meanwhile, Jake's camp is completely denying the story. A source close to him told ESPN earlier today, Jake hasn't tested positive for anything. This is fake news pushed by trolls and haters trying to mess with his head before the fight. They're insisting the whole thing is made up to distract him and throw off his focus just weeks before stepping into the ring.
All right, I'm going to bring up the elephant in the room. Let's talk about PEDs, because that's the reason why guys don't fight as often either. They've got to clear their systems from their PED use. So just to be honest, guys. So if you have a fighter who is using something or whatever, you're not going to see them fighting as often because it's a lot easier to get caught if you're not having that downtime to clear anything out of your system that's not supposed to be there. So let's be serious. I know we don't want to talk about the elephant in the room, but somebody's got to bring it up. Today it's me.
And with Netflix cameras rolling, behind-the-scenes documentaries being filmed, and global pay-per-view deals already locked in, there's no way the promoters want this fight canceled. There's simply too much money on the table. That's why, even with these drug rumors spreading, you can expect a major spin campaign to kick in fast. Suddenly, you'll start hearing terms like inconclusive results or possible supplement contamination. That's straight from the PR playbook, a way to calm the storm without stopping the show. Because when millions of dollars are at stake, nobody in this business wants the lights to go out before fight night.
I think he's taking steroids. Yeah. I do 100%. I'm willing to bet that. All the money that I have, I'd bet.
I've always had my suspicions, and
and then, dude, I'm not even sitting here being like, fuck him for that at all. I just want to make that clear.
Okay. I mean, but in combat sports,
what do you think? Do you think he is or he isn't?
I think he has for sure, but I don't know if he is currently.
Why would he not? If you know?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He's looking in the mirror. He's in his bathroom and he's like, Dylan, I'm gonna kill this. And he's like injecting his. Because he's like, I gotta protect Nina.
Yeah, facts,
you know?
facts. And he did. Fair play to him. He did listen.
And he's like,
for all the criticisms,
he's looking a little more angular in the face.
The thing I've always thought is like, how do you get bigger and then lean out as you get bigger? I don't know that I'm not.
How do you get bigger and then lean out as you get bigger?
Like it's usually a process of getting bigger, leaning. He's leaning
now
out
you're onto
as
it.
He's
now you're. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
And while Jake keeps insisting he's tested by Veda, there's one big issue. No one's ever seen proof. No screenshots. No paperwork. No official results. Nothing. Compare that to elite boxers like Terrence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez, or Alexander Usyk. Their test results are public, transparent, and easy to verify. Jake's, on the other hand, are always kept private. Coincidence? Maybe. But a lot of fans think it's more likely he's taking advantage of the business side of boxing. where big names and celebrity fighters often get
By the way, how
special-
much you weigh these days?
I'm heavy, big boy, 230s.
Damn. All right.
I'm a natural born heavyweight. This is what I was born to do, is to move up into this weight class, and I'm gonna show Mike who has the more power, because he's underestimating me. I think everyone else is underestimating me, and I believe that I hit harder.
Jake Paul built his entire empire on proving people wrong. When everyone laughed at him for trying to become a boxer, he silenced them by knocking out Ben Askren in a single round. When critics said he'd never beat a real boxer, he did it by defeating Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and even after his first real loss to Tommy Fury, Jake didn't disappear. He came back stronger, stopped Mike Perry, and then shocked the world by outboxing Mike Tyson himself. Every time the world doubted him, he turned that doubt... Let's hear what you think. Is Jake Paul's empire built on hard work, or is it all smoke and steroids? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video and subscribe to Fight Fusion for more real boxing talk, fight news, and behind-the-scenes stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.
If you're really not happy with Tank, first off, don't watch Tank. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You support it, then what you doing? You can't not support and support at the same time, right? So if you're a boxing purist, then this fight with Roach is really more for you. It's going to be more up your alley, you know? If you just like all entertainment, all fights, all hypes, all everything, then you're going to want to tune in to the Tank and Paul's show there, you know, because that's all for entertainment. What is it? For entertainment purposes only, right? It's just say like somewhere in the small print of the promotion. For entertainment, don't do this at home, kids. You know, so fine.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer. For entertainment purposes only, you know. So you know, it's money-making purposes only, you know. It is what it is, people.